this lesson, we'll talk family. Do traditions like living with pain-in-the-ass relatives?
My mom and dad had a lot of kids, man. I mean, so many. I've met most of them, too.
Old school ass whoopings?
Me being knocked out was my mom's idea of a timeout.
And possessive relationships clash with American lifestyles?
They really get possessive. I'm sorry. That was like, who is that? Who is that looking at you? Who is that bitch? Who is that bitch? Who is that bitch? That's my mom.
Find out. It's time for class. Time for Latino 101. But Fesoro Garcia couldn't make it in today. He ate a churro, and it gave him the chorro. Latinos let their kids grow up in America while still giving them all the things they had in their home country.
Hey, man, I grew up in the barrio just like everybody else. That was my world until I got to the other side, literally, of the freeway.
Growing up with a young mother, it was crazy because we went to high school together, so my friends want a boner. It's like, really?
I found out when I was like 15 that my dad was Mexican, so it was kind of neat. Came out there, hey, I'm with you guys now, I guess, man. I feel like I got traded to a new team. They had a press conference for me in Mexico City. We just want to welcome this lazy-eyed gentleman to the family. He just realized he is part of us.
My father is Bolivian, very South American, so when he still talks like with a really thick accent, you know, very slow, very talk like these, analogies that make no sense at all. When the moon and the monkey went together, you're like, are you kidding? I want to get coffee.
When my mom first heard that American mothers were taking their kids to the babysitter, she thought that they were taking them to a place called Baby City. She said, ay, las americanas siempre llevando sus niños a la Baby City. Like, welcome to Baby City. Bye. See you when you're 21 and you can afford to support me.
I was adopted by Latinos when I was 2. They stole me from a Starbucks.
Why do Latinos have large families? Because of religion and really good.
We come from countries in which a big family is the norm.
My mom had 3.42 kids per year.
Yeah, I grew up in a big family. Everybody in my family at least over 250 pounds.
Large families were needed to achieve and get things done.
I have 5 brothers, 1 sister. She used to fall in the toilet. She used to pee standing up and everything. I don't know how she did it, but she did it.
My mom and dad had a lot of kids, man. I mean, so many. I've met most of them, too.
We certainly all shared a bathroom. We had one bathroom in the house, so you can only imagine what that was like.
So you have a very clean household with a lot of women, hair issues, very loud, good cooking. It's not so bad.
Look, we all had our own, yes, our own toothbrushes, but you can never be sure, was your sister gonna get mad and use that to clean her sneakers with?
Growing up in a household where women can whip your ass literally for the first 18 years of your life is not helping your masculinity. It's like, I am the man of the house. I will do whatever you want. Don't you talk to me like that. Oh, sorry, sis, separate the whites from the reds. I apologize.
I was the oldest, and my parents didn't have that much money when I was little, so I didn't go to private school. But the running joke is that they all went to private school, all girls Catholic school. Of course, got pregnant early, had a hard time getting into college. I use it as leverage now. Oh, but you paid all that money for them to go to private school.
Besides Latino's immediate family, they have ties with other members of the family. Except for Uncle Fast Fingers, he's nasty.
White people know their whole family. Once they're born, they pretty much know everyone in the family. Latinos, we tend to find out who's in our family as years go by. Every birthday, every anniversary, every funeral, every wedding, you meet a new cousin, new brother. I didn't meet my father until I was 27, so, that was a nice surprise.
I have some relatives come from Argentina, and they're like, where's the dishwasher? I just pointed to my dad.
Whenever familia came visiting from Mexico, it was never just 1 or 2 people. It was always 5 aunts, 4 uncles, 3 cousins, 2 grandparents, and a pancho in a pear tree.
When you're white, you don't know anything about your family or your family roots. So my parents would just make stuff up. They'd be like, we came from pirates.
I knew a lot more about our heritage than my cousins did, which was the weird thing. I could sit there and tell them about, Aztec warriors or the Mayan calendar, and they'd just be like, this fool thinks he's white. Look at this guy. He goes to school, you graduate high school, you think you're better than us?
We're Latinos. I mean, it's like literally crazy, crazy family.
My cousin, my coked out cousin turned into a pastor. How about that? You know, don't do this. You're a good example. All right, man.
I think it's great. I think that Latinos, they seem to live with all their extended relatives, and it's good because then you know what mistakes to avoid. You see your Uncle Carlos? Don't be like him. See him? See how he's living here and he's wearing the same outfit 3 days in a row? See how he's still not good at soccer. He plays every day. He's still not good.
I went to his wedding. I'm looking for my drunk uncles, you know what I mean? And our nieces are running around, and I'm looking, where's all my drunk uncles? And then all of a sudden I realize, it's me.
I have an uncle. He's not crazy, but he always says stuff to look smart. He would be like, you know, the Egyptian pyramids were created in 1492 by the Roman Empire in the height of the Beatlemania. What the hell?
Grandparents, those crazy old you wish you could put out of their misery.
I was raised by my grandparents, just until my real parents were old enough to raise me.
The greatest thing of my family is the wise Latina in my family, my abuelita. She always insists on asking me how many bowel movements I've had that day. And no matter what time of the day she asks me, I better have gone to the bathroom twice, or else I have cancer.
In a white family, there is no generational gap because your grandparents don't live with you.
My grandma is in denial of her age. My grandma, independent woman, you know what I mean? We're like, grandma, just use a walker. No, I'm fine. No, grandma, just me. I'm fine, I'm independent. Grandma, she got bruises, she got a helmet, she got knee pads.
Like I would tell my abuela, hey, abuela, take me to McDonald's. And she'd be like, what? Abuela, McDonald's, you took me there the other day. She'd be like, ¿qué? I had to say McDonald's. And she'd be like, ay, mijo, ¿por qué no me dijiste?
My abuela would always give us her bendición right beside her almost life-size statue of Jesus on the cross, all contorted and bleeding. And she'd say, ay, mijitos, I pray that God protects you like he did his son. I'm like going, I hope he protects us better than he did his son.
You know, I know that in this country it's okay and it's really cool when a grandma has a kid at like 42 or 52 or 62. Oh, look at that, isn't that great? No. In Puerto Rico, grandma has, you know, gets pregnant, we call her a and we send her away.
I didn't interact that much with my grandparents. You know what I mean? Only enough for them to make me feel guilty about the age I was. You know, we had it much worse when I was your age. Bye.
Hey, don't cut class. Latino101 will be right back. Latino101 is about to begin. Get your ass back to class. All right, class, settle down. Don't make me go outside and get the switch, you little...
I think everything begins in the home. Real talk. Everything begins in the home. When I see stories on the news, I'm just like, damn, what kind of childhood did that person have? Mira, muchacho, el diablo.
I don't like kids who like cry for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like the kid who's at like Walmart and like, Mom, will you buy me something? It's like, no. I hate that kid. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's wrong to hate kids, but if that was my kid, I'd kick him in the back of his head.
And you know what? In Latino families, it's not just your mother and father that punish you. It's whoever is close enough to hit you.
No, I don't plan on having kids, actually. I just want to adopt some like Chinese babies, like to help me with my taxes.
Yes, I was punished a lot. You know, and maybe, I don't know if my life in Puerto Rico is reflective of real life in Puerto Rico, but when I grew up, the teachers were allowed to hit you in school. It was like, it's all good. Like you do something wrong, bam, they just hit you. And then what's funny is like, if you go crying home to your parents, like, oh, my teacher hit me, they'll beat your ass for doing something that deserved getting hit in the first place. It's like double child abuse. Like, I don't know what to do. So I just started, like, chronically.
If I did something wrong, unless I really did my reconnaissance mission, somebody was gonna hit me.
Yeah, so I was like yelling at my mom, gonna fight and stuff, and she's like, don't you dare yell at me and disrespect me. I'm gonna smack you. I was completely surprised. Mom, I didn't know you could speak English.
I got grounded a lot. You know, I don't think, do you guys get grounded?
Me being knocked out was my mom's idea of a timeout. At least that's what she told child services.
I remember when I would, you know, just mess up somehow, and they would lay me on the ground. My sister would hold my legs. My other sister would hold my arms, stretched out. My mother would take out my dad's belt and start, you know, wailing on me. You know, it's just an everyday thing. Not every day, but you know, that would be child abuse, I guess.
The chancleta, a cheap sandal, is the weapon of choice for Latinos when it comes to scaring the out of their kids.
You have to throw the flying chancleta because it is the, first of all, we can never outrun you. But the chancleta will catch you up. It flies very well. And when it hits, it gets you really good.
We get hit with chancletas, with whatever she could reach and throw and launch at us.
That's a staple in the Latino family, the chancla, but my mom was Americanized, she didn't use the chancla, she used the cord to the iron. And it wasn't so bad, but the iron was still on it.
The chancla tickled though. My mother would throw it, or I would laugh my ass off when she would spank me with a chancla, all furry. It's hilarious. And then she got wise and she used a spoon or whatever she can grab. A chair. My brother.
Yeah, I am a translator. And sometimes I get lost in translation.
And now it's time for Learning Espanol with Godfrey, the world's premier African-American Spanish language instructor. Days of the week.
Miércoles, lunes, domingo, sábado, martes, marzo, abril, septiembre. That was easy. Julio, iglesias.
And that was Learning Espanol with Godfrey. Gracias, Godfrey. Relationships start families and resentment. You can't have everything.
When it comes to dating, you better court me. You better open my door, and it's not that I'm a diva and I think I'm all that, but I think I'm worth it. You know what I mean? Just like a dude wants to get his feet rubbed or his back rubbed and he wants dinner, well, guess what, honey? If I'm gonna give that to you, you're gonna give something back to me. At least open my door. At least take me, out for a value meal.
The men are very aggressive. You know what I mean? And it's a matter of competition.
Okay, this is something I'm gonna say, and this is the fact. This is the truth. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, the man is the boss of his home in the Latino family, but it's actually the woman who rules everything.
I've dated some Latinas, man. Well, only two, and I made it away from that situation alive, and I'm real thankful. Who got time to watch their back that much? All the time? Nah, I'm cool. So we just friends, mamacita. We just cool like that.
Modern Latinas expect more of their men than just espera que venga tu papá. They expect you to be there.
Some guys really do know how to man up, but there's other guys that are really mama's boys that they just don't know how to cut that umbilical cord. It's like, when you turn 25, 26, move out of your house, dude.
I've dated Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican. Yeah, I've dated them all, and they don't take them. They really get possessive. I'm sorry. That one's like, who is that? Who is that looking at you? Who is that bitch? Who is that bitch? Who is that bitch? That's my mom. Can you let her? Okay, you better be your mom. You're not are you? No.
Jill Michelle Million's rule for living with a Latina. Swing it this way. Understand reverse psychology.
When we throw your clothes out the door, you're not supposed to pick them up and leave. You're supposed to pick them up and come back to us. That means we love you.
Protect your neck.
If we try to murder you, that means we want to get married.
Prioritize.
You're never going to look at somebody else. Never. Because we are number one.
Hey, don't cut class. Latino101 will be right back. Latino101 is about to begin. Get your ass back to class. Latin families give kids traditional names. Too bad, once an employer reads the name Jose, you know you'll be throwing out that resume. Those
You know you're not a Latino if nobody in your family is named Chewy.
I'm so Latino because my name is Jesus.
We're the only culture on the planet that names their children after Jesus. I mean, come on, man. Nobody else does this. How many Buddhas have you met?
My family's so big that, we used a lot of the popular names in the Bible, which is why I have a cousin named Revelation and a niece and a nephew named Page 1 and Page 2.
I have a lot of aunts in my family. I'm gonna name them for you now. There's Marquesa, there's Chucha, there's Chachita, there's Fifi Santiago, there's Marquesa St. Cloud, there's La Bruja de la Esquina. Am I missing anyone else? Oh yeah, Josefina Sonrey. We don't know where she came from.
That's a new thing to do right now. Name them, Cheyenne. What are we doing naming kids like this, man? What happened to Juan and, Lencha? It's amazing to see these little kids. They look like Latinos, Aztecas, just Latinos to the blood. What's your name, mija? Brittany?
The only reason my name is spelled traditionally Judy is because I was born in a hospital. My mother said Judy, they spelled it that way, but otherwise my name would have been spelled Yudi, which is like Dominican style.
I have 3 names, Jill Michelle Milian, because my parents fought at birth. My dad wanted Michelle. My mom wanted Jill because she was a big fan of Charlie's Angels. And my father said, you can't have Jill because in South America, in Bolivia, everyone's gonna call her Il.
My mother used to call me Frente Playa, beach forehead, because my forehead is big. And adult Latinos do that. They say little mean things because they're funny, like say, ven acá, gorda, gordita, or because it's funny to a little kid, but they don't realize how traumatizing it is in therapy. And when she used to call me fat.
Latinos sometimes start families with non-Latinos. Probably tired of eating the same fish tacos.
I had serious identity issues growing up because my Polish grandmother would introduce me to her friends as, oh, look, this is Joey, my Mexican grandson. And that caused serious issues for me until the day that I introduced her as Charlotte, my Polish grandmother. And once I did that, she stopped.
You know what's funny is her family's hillbilly and my family's Mexican. Both families spend the whole day debating who married up. And it's actually a pretty fun debate to listen to because neither family really speaks English. My cousins are like, hey, them gringos sound funny. And hers are like, whatever, Mexican, at least we's talking American over here. And sometimes I get lost in translation.
My sister married a black guy. My brother married a white girl. My other brother's girlfriend's Mexican. And so our house during Christmas is like United Nations. For dinner, we'll have egg rolls, burritos, and corned beef.
It was an Irish man that I married, which was an interesting wedding because Irish Catholic, Puerto Rican Catholic, half the family was drunk before the wedding and the other half stole their cars. So much fun, but everybody got laid.
Family functions, the time when Latinos get together and wish they belonged to a different family.
Holidays, at my house, turkey, tacos, and fist fights. Always a good time.
A quinceañera is a rite of passage, and it has become a way of showing off how much we can spend and how much we can negate the possibility of dreaming about college.
Hey, why don't gay Latino boys get a quinceañera?
I remember when my wife came one time to one of our first events, and it was for my children, and she was there, and she was trying to jot everybody's name down to send thank you cards. And she was like, I'm trying to get your name so I can say thanks. And they said, just say thank you right now. We're here. Why waste a quarter?
Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, we're both Latinos, but we do stuff different. Like the piñata, we do the piñata in Puerto Rico a little different. Pull the right string, the candy comes out, it's safe, it's safe. But Mexican style, you blindfold the kid, like a hostage situation. You turn the kid, then you give the kid a stick, like you're an adult.
Some people give the kid an aluminum bat. That's illegal in the major leagues.
I work kids' parties, dressed up as Spider-Man and Buzz Lightyear. Latin families, there'd be 10,000 kids, and they'd just be having a great time. And they'd be like, yo, Buzz Lightyear, what's up?
Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. There's always that one kid that's really big for his age. That little Joselito. 5'2", 260 in second grade. What is that?
One time I forgot to put candy in the piñata, and I thought that the piñata came with candy already in it, and they hid it and nothing came out. And the kids were like, what happened? I'm like, I had an abortion.
Now it's time for a pop quiz. Fill in the blanks. Name 3 things you can find at your grandmama's house that are all covered in plastic. Hey, don't cut class. Latino101 will be right back. Latino101 is about to begin. Get your ass back to class. The pop quiz question was, name 3 things you can find at your grandmama's house that's all covered in plastic. A plastic-covered couch. B, a plastic-covered lampshade. And C, a plastic-covered grandfather. She's trying to preserve his old ass. Some decorative things things you can only find in a Latino home. Please, someone show them where the IKEA is.
My wife doesn't like to display stuff, so the stuff that's out is very nice. A lot of family, everything's family, a lot of family pictures, this and that. We have an Aztec calendar, wood, beautiful. I mean, you can't get more Latino than that. I mean, I don't know if this show go past 2012, that's all I know.
We had a big cow hide on our wall. I was like, why are we the only family with a big cow hide hanging on our wall? And then when I finally went to Argentina, I went, oh yeah, Argentina is all about the pampas and cattle and byproducts of cattle. So of course we're Argentinian, we would have cattle on our wall.
You know, every Latino household has one, a china cabinet with no china, called a chinero. You got every party favor, every birthday party you went to, or capia, or baby shower, the statue with the baby with the butt sticking up. Susie's baby shower.
My whole house was like, always had everything wrapped in plastic so nothing would get dirty. I felt like a Barbie without the mansion or the Barbies.
My grandparents actually did used to cover their furniture with plastic. My favorite thing was that we had that long strip of plastic that goes on the carpet that was kind of like the walkway. And in the summer, we'd use it as a slip and slide. Like we'd soak it in the front yard and just slide on my grandma. And we'd get in trouble every time because my God, what are you doing? Oh my God! We'd slip around like it was a water slide. But the one thing that we really liked is to flip it over and expose the spike, and we'd catch my cousin's hairy chest.
It's weird because when I was probably 7 or 8, I used to pray, well, because I knew St. Anthony the best, for my real family to come and save me from these people. That I had made up this story that I was adopted, and my real family would come back and claim me, and I'd get to leave these crazy people. So I was probably around 5 or 6, but really when I was 16 or 17, I realized just the opposite, that I was the luckiest girl in the world. And, you know, your perspective kind of changes when you know you're really blessed to come from that kind of background.
I got too heavy on the family, didn't I?
I didn't